Let me ask you something real quick. How many times have you promised yourself that this time would be different? This time you'd stick to your goals. This time you'd finally change. You set the alarm for 5 a.m., you feel unstoppable, you tell yourself this is your moment. And then reality hits. Day 1, you're a warrior. Day 2, you're still going. Day 3, you hit snooze. Day 4, you forget the whole thing ever happened. And then you feel like garbage, like you failed again, like maybe you just don't have what it takes. But here's what nobody tells you. It's not your fault. You didn't fail because you're weak or lazy. You failed because you were running on motivation. And motivation is the worst strategy for change. I know that sounds crazy. Every video tells you to stay motivated. Every quote says push through. But I'm here to tell you the opposite. Motivation will let you down every single time. But systems? Systems will carry you even when you have nothing left. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to break down exactly why that is and how you can build a system that actually works for your life. So if you're tired of starting over, stick with me. This might change everything. Let me take you back a few years. I was broke, unhappy, out of shape, felt stuck in every part of my life. So I did what everyone does. I watched motivational videos until 2 a.m. I wrote down goals. I bought a fancy planner. I told everyone I was changing my life. Week 1 was incredible. I woke up early, hit the gym, ate clean, worked on my side projects. I felt like a completely different person. Week 2, still solid, a little harder, but I pushed through. Week 3, I missed a workout, just one. I was tired. Life got busy. No big deal, right? Week 4, I stopped completely. The planner collected dust, the gym membership went unused, and I felt worse than before I started. You know why? Because I built everything on a feeling, and feelings don't last. Here's the brutal truth about motivation. It's an emotion, and emotions are the most unreliable thing you can depend on. Think about it. Your motivation changes based on how much sleep you got, whether someone was rude to you at work, whether it's raining outside, whether you scrolled Instagram for too long and now you feel behind. You can't build a new life on something that fragile. Let me give you a different example. You brush your teeth every day, right? But do you wake up every morning motivated to brush your teeth? Do you watch a motivational video about dental hygiene? No, you just do it. It's automatic. It's a habit. Your brain doesn't even question it. That's what happens when you remove motivation from the equation. You stop depending on how you feel and start depending on what you do. And that's exactly what a system gives you. It takes the guesswork out. It takes the feelings out. It just works. The people you see crushing their goals, the ones who seem to have it all together, they're not more motivated than you. They just stopped relying on motivation a long time ago.
So let's talk about what a system actually is. A system is not some complicated productivity hack. It's not a perfect morning routine that takes 3 hours. It's way simpler than that. A system is just a repeatable action that moves you forward whether you feel like it or not. Let me show you the difference. Motivation says, I'm going to lose 30 pounds this year. I'm going to work out 6 days a week and eat perfectly clean. Sounds amazing, right? But what happens when you're exhausted? When you have a rough day at work? When your friends invite you out and there's pizza? You break. You feel guilty. You quit. A system says, I'm going to walk for 15 minutes every single day, rain or shine, tired or energized, no exceptions. See how different that feels? One depends on willpower and inspiration. The other is just a decision you made once and now you follow through. Here's another one. Let's say you want to read more. Motivation says, I'm going to read 50 books this year. Big goal, exciting. But then life happens. You get busy, the books pile up, you feel behind, so you stop trying. A system says, I'm going to read 10 pages every night before I turn off the light. 10 pages, that's it. Some nights you might read more because you're into the book, but the minimum is always 10. And here's the crazy part. 10 pages a day doesn't sound impressive, but over a year, that's 3,650 pages. That's around 12 full books without ever feeling motivated, without ever relying on inspiration. You just showed up every single night, and the results took care of themselves. That's the power of a system. It's so small that you can't say no. It's so simple that even on your worst day, you can still do it. How do you actually build a system for yourself? Step 1, start so small it feels stupid. I'm serious. Most people fail because they start too big. They say, I'm going to meditate for 30 minutes every morning. And then they can't even make it through day 3 because 30 minutes feels impossible when you're tired and stressed. Instead, start with 2 minutes. Literally, 2 minutes of sitting still and breathing. Can you do 2 minutes even on your worst day? Absolutely. That's the point. Make it so easy that you'd feel ridiculous not doing it. Because once it becomes automatic, once your brain stops resisting it, you can build on top of it. But if you start too big, you'll quit the first time life gets hard. And life always gets hard. So go small, stupidly small. That's where the magic is. Step 2, attach it to something you already do. This one changed my life. Don't just say, I'll journal every day. Your brain doesn't know when every day is. It's too vague. Instead, say right after I pour my morning coffee, I'll write 3 sentences in my journal. You're already pouring coffee. You do it every single day without thinking. Now, journaling is just part of that routine. This is called habit stacking. You take something you already do and you attach the new habit to it. Want to do push-ups? Do them right after you brush your teeth in the morning. Want to stretch? Do it the second you get out of bed before you check your phone. Want to practice gratitude? Do it while you're waiting for your coffee to brew. When you anchor a new habit to something you're already doing, your brain doesn't have to work as hard. It just flows naturally from one action to the next, and that's how habits stick. Step 3, track it every single day. You need proof that you're showing up, not to feel good about yourself, not for motivation, but for accountability. Get a calendar, a physical one or a digital one, doesn't matter. Every day you do the thing, mark an X on that day. That's it, 1 X. After a week, you'll have 7 X's in a row. And you know what happens? You won't want to break the chain. You'll have a bad day, you'll be tired, but you'll look at those X's and think, I've done this for 12 days straight. I'm not breaking it now. That visual reminder keeps you honest. It keeps you consistent. And consistency is the only thing that builds real results. Not intensity, not motivation, consistency. Step 4, remove every obstacle in your way. Make it as easy as possible to do the thing. If you want to work out in the morning, lay out your workout clothes the night before. Put them right next to your bed. Put your shoes by the door. Don't leave anything to chance. Don't rely on your future self to make good decisions, because your future self is tired. Your future self is lazy. Your future self will choose the path of least resistance. So make the right choice, the easiest choice. If you want to eat healthier, prep your meals on Sunday. Cut up your vegetables. Cook your protein. Put everything in containers so when you're hungry, the healthy option is right there. Don't wait until you're starving at 9 p.m. and the only thing available is junk food. You're not trying to be perfect. You're just setting yourself up to win. Step 5. Build in forgiveness. This is the one most people forget. You're going to mess up. You're going to miss a day. That's not failure, that's life. The difference between people who succeed and people who quit is what they do after they mess up. Most people miss one day and think, well, I already ruined it, might as well give up. But a system has forgiveness built in. It says, okay, I missed yesterday, that's fine. I'm showing up today. You don't need a perfect streak. You just need to get back on track as fast as possible. Miss one day? No problem. Just don't miss 2 in a row. That's the rule. Because 2 days turns into 3. 3 turns into a week, and a week turns into giving up completely. But one day is just life. You move on. Here's the part that most people don't understand. The goal is not actually the goal. Let me explain. You don't want to lose 20 pounds. What you really want is to become the type of person who takes care of their body. You don't want to read 50 books. You want to become the type of person who values learning and growth. You don't want to wake up early. You want to become the type of person who's disciplined and in control of their time. See the difference? The external goal is just a side effect. The real transformation is internal, and that's what a system does. It doesn't just give you results, it changes who you are. Every time you show up, even when you don't feel like it, you're proving something to yourself. You're proving that you're the type of person who keeps their word, who follows through,
who doesn't need motivation to do what matters. And once you become that person, everything changes. You stop making excuses. You stop waiting for the perfect moment. You stop relying on how you feel. You just show up and you do the work. That's when you realize you don't need motivation anymore because you've built something stronger. You've built trust in yourself, and that's the real breakthrough. So here's what I want you to do right now. Pick one thing, just one, not your entire life, not 10 different habits, one. Maybe it's reading 10 pages before bed. Maybe it's doing 5 push-ups every morning. Maybe it's writing 1 sentence in a journal. I don't care what it is, just pick something small, something you've been putting off because you're waiting to feel motivated, and build a system around it. Make it tiny, make it easy. Attach it to something you already do. Track it every single day. Remove every excuse that might stop you, and then show up tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after that. You don't need to change your whole life tonight. You just need to prove to yourself that you can do one small thing consistently. Because that's how real change happens. Not in one dramatic moment, not in some burst of inspiration, but in the quiet, unglamorous, boring work of showing up when nobody's watching, when you're tired, when you don't feel like it. Motivation will hype you up and then abandon you the second things get hard. But systems will carry you. Systems will build you into someone you're proud of. Systems won't quit on you. So stop waiting for motivation to save you. It's not coming. Build a system instead. Start small, start today. And I promise you, 6 months from now, you'll look back and barely recognize the person you used to be. Now stop watching and go do the thing. Just one small thing. I'll see you in the next one.